When a venomous snake spits on you, what can you expect? In most cases, what do you expect when a venomous snake spits on you? In many cases, you can surely expect death. That venomous spit coming from that snake could end your life. And in most cases, what do you do when you see a venomous snake that is a threat to your life? You chop its head off. You don't sit there and wait for that snake to attack you again. That's how I view another human being spitting on another human being. Now, when I posted that last video, I expected someone to not be in agreement with my viewpoints, with my thoughts, with my ideas. But one thing that many people in this age refuse to understand is that every individual is different. Every individual handles certain situations different. No one is the same. And that's why I always stress to leave people alone. If you slap someone, don't always expect that person to either just walk away or slap you back. You may be dealing with a personality or the mindset that if you put your hands on me, I will take your life. I've known of situations where men have lost their lives for just looking at another man because that other man felt threatened. And at that moment, consequences really didn't matter. It was the fact that, what are you looking at? And in many cases, there's guys that will get smart with you when they stare at you and you look at them like, what is your problem? You could lose your life, and the person that take your life is willing to deal with any consequences as a result of their actions. There were guys in my lifetime that have lost their lives for stepping on someone's shoes. And brothers in the hood could attest to this. You in a club, is crowded, you by mistake step on someone's shoes, you could lose your life. They may not say nothing, but when you walk outside, be expecting the unexpected. There were situations where you could be in a club and someone could mistakenly spill a drink on you or just bump into you. That could cost you your life. What I'm trying to say and what I'm trying to get through to people, you don't have to disagree with my stance. But also you must realize and understand that not every two people are the same. Someone may spit in your face, may spit in your wife's face, while you're standing there, or may spit in your child's face. And you as a man may think to yourself, well, I'll just beat him down. Well, I hate to break the news to you, but you can't beat everybody. So that's a butt whooping that you might have to take in front of your wife and in front of your kids. And if you just so happen to beat that person down, you may think the fight is over. And then one day you decide to go to the store and that person see you and remember what you did to him and will take your life. Back in time, there were movies where if a man or warrior was disrespected or someone made an attempt on his life, at that moment he had to make the choice and decision to take that life. Because if he decided to spare that life, it is almost certain that that person that he spared may be the death of him. So in that last video I made, see, I mind my business. I don't bother nobody. And I don't expect anyone to bother me. In many cases, when I get trolls, for example, on YouTube, in most cases, I just delete them or I block them. I don't say nothing to them because to me, they're cowards, they're punks. And that's the only way that they can express themselves. That's the only way that they feel man enough to speak at another man is behind a troll account. But if you happen to meet that person face to face, that person would not say a word. Fear would creep into that person's heart. If it's possible, that person would try to sneak past you so that you can't see them. But online, they have heart. They have internet and YouTube muscles. They make threats to you, not realizing that not everyone takes threats the same way. There's people that may dismiss the threats, may not think too much about threats. But then there's people like myself that takes threats very seriously. I know a situation, and this happened several years ago. These two young boys were fighting. And one kid, I knew him, I knew his mother. And he was fighting with this young dude. And he was losing the fight. So he told this young boy that he was fighting, I'm going home to get a gun. I'm going to come back and I'm going to shoot you. So in my mind, I'm thinking, why would he do something like that? Because in my mind, if you tell me that you're going to get a gun to take my life, guess what? You're not leaving. You're not leaving. I'm not giving you that opportunity to set me up or to take my life. So if you threaten me and tell me I'll be back, I'm going to make sure that you go nowhere. That's my mindset. And when I make up in my mind to do something, I am willing to deal or face any consequences that come as a result of that. Now, I always quote Dr. Martin Luther King when he said, if a man is not willing to die for what he believes, that man is not fit to live. If you claim to be a man, or better yet, if you claim to be a warrior or have a warrior type spirit, that's not saying you walk around looking for trouble. That's not saying that you think you can beat everybody. It's not saying that. It's just saying that I mind my business. I take care of myself. I take care of my family. But if you violate me, you must be willing to deal with whatever consequences. Don't worry about me dealing with consequences of my actions. You should be more concerned about the consequences of your actions. And you must get into your mind that not every two people are the same. Every man does not handle situations the same. One man may walk away and another man may take your neck off and deal with the consequences as a result of that. See, me being 58 years of age, I've never been incarcerated in my life. Never. Outside of the military, I have not taken any lives. Do I know what it's like? Yes. But at the same time, I know my limits. And I try not to allow anyone to push me beyond my limits. But like I mentioned in that last video, that male not only spit on that woman, but he threatened her with violence. So in my opinion, she did the right thing. Yes, she may have to deal with jail time. And in my opinion, I believe that people that usually disagree so adamantly, if you disagree with the fact that she took his life for spitting on her, then that makes me think that you're the type of person that will spit on someone or maybe have spit on someone and your life was just spared. So now you're upset when someone say you deserve death if you spit on someone, because that's the lowest thing you can do is to spit on another human being. Just walk away and you won't have to deal with that consequence of losing your life, you being taken away from your family or potentially your children because of an act of you spitting on another human being. And that goes back to what I said about not everybody handles situations the same. You may disagree with me and you may say, well, I don't want to spend my life in prison. I don't want to deal with the consequences of not being around my family. I don't want to do this. Poor pity me. So you're setting yourself up for destruction. Because if you allow a man to walk away, even if you beat him down, it's not guaranteed that the fight is over. Because say you beat this person down and you make yourself look good in front of your wife or in front of your children, and now you caught off guard, you sleep because you're thinking like you feeling empowered now because you defended the honor of your family. And before you realize it, the same person that you beat down now see you, and he may have his boys or he just may be by himself and say, yeah, so what's up now? And before you realize it, you got a bullet in your brain or in your chest. So you never give an enemy the opportunity to come back and destroy you or destroy your family. You never give the enemy that opportunity. You cut their heads off. Just like you would cut this snake's head off, this venomous snake, this viper, you chop your enemy's head off so that you don't have to worry about him coming back at you. See, that's why I like, in a way, the way the mafia operates. Because, and even old school New York City, you touch one of my family members, I take out your whole family. So when you deal with the mob, or when you deal with certain mentalities that think like that, you think twice about violating that individual. You think twice about that. Don't worry about consequences that I may have to deal with if I take the life of someone that spit in my face, or spit on one of my family members, or spit in one of my, or say a child's face. Don't worry about the consequences I may have to face. You worry about the consequences you may have to face for violating another man that have the mindset that I have. And see, in today's time, there are too many weak dudes, I'm gonna say, in the black community. The black family is not safe. Black women don't feel safe. And I've said that black women are the most unprotected women on the face of this planet, because they have no men, in most cases, in many cases, have no man to defend them. Their children is open game. And that's why you have other races or nationalities feel so at ease at violating your women, because they know that these women are unprotected, and they know that they outpower these women, because the dudes, the males, are going to sit back and say, well, I have to think because I don't want to spend the rest of my life in jail. But you have no problem spending the rest of your life in jail for selling drugs. You have no problem spending the rest of your life in jail for taking the life of another black man that just looked at you. But when it comes to defending yourself or your family, we have every excuse not to defend ourselves. Just think of the number of black or white males that violated black men. Just recently, I watched an article where this white female, it looked like Walmart, spit at this dude. She didn't spit on him, but she spit at him. Called him a nigger. And he pretended like he was going to do something, but he didn't. But if that was another black man, and I hate to make this a black and white issue, but these are the issues that we're dealing with today. If it was another black man or a black woman, he would have severely violated that person. But yet, because it wasn't, he had enough sense to restrain himself. Why can't we have that type of restraint with each other? So instead of you worrying about how I would handle situations if you violate me, maybe you should be more concerned about the consequences you may have to deal with if you violate a person like me or a person that think like me. So if you're concerned about losing your life for spitting on someone, don't do it. Maybe you need to do what you expect me to do. Just walk away. Or use your hands. If you think you got hand game, use your hands. But if you are a punk, you need to stay in the house. You need to stay in the house and not come outside because you're too much of a coward. In old times, in the Westerns, they say you're yellow. They call you yellow. Means you're a coward. So feedback, tell me what you think, but everybody is not the same. Everybody handles situations different. Real men know that. Real warriors know that. And being a warrior or having a warrior spirit is not saying you're walking around looking for trouble. You try to avoid trouble. But when trouble finds you, you chop its head off. Until next time, I'm fearless.